हेलो एवरीवन, वेलकम टू एसएमई मित्रा। तो आज हमारे साथ प्रिंटिंग एंड पब्लिकेशन सेक्टर से जुड़ी हुई एक कंपनी के टॉप टॉप मैनेजमेंट है। कंपनी का नाम है दचेपल्ली पब्लिशर्स लिमिटेड। हमारे साथ कंपनी के एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर मिस्टर हरीश दचेपल्ली जुड़े हुए हैं। सर, थैंक यू फॉर योर टाइम एंड वेलकम टू द शो।
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
सर, शुरू करते हैं कंपनी के बिजनेस ओवरव्यू से। सो प्लीज एक्सप्लेन करें आपकी कंपनी का कारोबार क्या है।
So I'll start with how what Dachepalli is. Right now, I'm Harish Dachepalli, Director, Dachepalli Publishers Limited. Dachepalli is a publishing house which makes school textbooks from kindergarten to class 10th across various boards, that is CBSE, ICC, and State Board. And our product right now is in around 10,000 schools in 10 plus states in India. And we have all the subjects from math, science, social, English, GK, grammar, computer, financial literacy, robotics for 1 to 5th classes, and for 9th and 10th classes where government subjects are mandatory, we have workbooks for that. And in kindergartens, we have multiple kits which could be sold across all the three boards and also Cambridge IB and other curriculum. So initially, this company started as a retail outlet in the year 1908, where my great grandfather he set up a small shop and he was selling retail educational material to schools. Then later on, when my grandfather joined the business, it has become a small-time publishing company. And back then, Hyderabad was a part of Nizam dynasty, and Nizam was a separate. It was like a separate country, and Urdu was our main language. So we published books in all Urdu for all the subjects like science, social, everything in Urdu. With the coming of British, we introduced English also. Later on in the year 1948, when Hyderabad became a part of India, all the Indian subjects languages came into being into the company. And right now, my uncle, my father, me, and my brother, four of us are running this company. Where my father is involved in administration and finance, my uncle takes care of the production. Me and my brother take care of logistics and supply chain and sales and management. This is
एक्सलेंट। तो
pretty
एक
much about the company.
एक लंबी लंबी लेगेसी रही है और ऑलरेडी फोर्थ जनरेशन इन बिजनेस, राइट?
Yes, we are fourth generation.
राइट सर, जस्ट टू क्लैरिफाई, आप मेनली एजुकेशन मतलब टेक्स्ट बुक सेक्टर में ही है या उसके अलावा भी आप कुछ और प्रिंटिंग जैसे कि फिक्शनल नॉवेल्स वगैरह हो गया, उस साइड पे भी आपके कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स हैं?
नहीं सर, हम सिर्फ एजुकेशन टेक्स्ट बुक्स में ही है, from all the classes, but fiction and higher education में भी नहीं है. Going forward भी हम school education में ही रहना चाह रहे हैं. So right now our market share is less than 2% in the strongest states, that is south, since we belong from the south. Slowly state by state हम लोग grow कर रहे थे आगे अभी. Post IPO we want to do in the 3 years all the 28 states and 8 union territories of the country only in school education.
गॉट इट। सर, थोड़ा सा कंपनी के ऑर्ग स्ट्रक्चर के बारे में बताएं। कंपनी की कोई सिस्टर कंसर्न्स या कोई सब्सिडरी है सर?
हाँ, वी हैव ऐसा थोड़े ब्रांड्स है कंपनी के जो वही सिस्टर कंपनी से, बट अभी पूरा एक मर्ज हो गया पूरा. इट इज नाउ वन कंपनी. लाइक कपल ऑफ ब्रांड्स आर लाइक पेलिकन पब्लिशिंग हाउस, स्कूल बुक कंपनी, संगम पब्लिशिंग हाउस, दाचेपल्ली प्रिंटर्स. तो वी हैव सेट अप आवर ओन प्रिंटिंग यूनिट टू मैन्युफैक्चर आवर ओन प्रोडक्ट. Prior to last 5 years before, we used to print our product outside, but we were facing problem with quality and other issues and timely delivery of the product. So we did backward integration. हमारा खुद का printing press बना लिए, and 90% of the production happens in house now. 10% still goes outsourced because of the seasonal nature of this business.
Okay, sir. You said that like you are majorly focused on South India. Now with IPO, you are going other state also. So like after 5 years, what would you envision ratio of your revenue from like southern state and non-southern states?
So right now also we did pilot projects with some states in the north like Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, West Bengal, Northeast, Meghalaya, Shillong. We wanted to understand if our product is accepted in those schools or those regions, and we got a very good response. Then we started slowly venturing, एक state में 1 crore 2 crore ऐसे छोटे छोटे turnover
Mhm.
करना start किए to understand how the complete dynamics of the state and how the business works in that area, and we were pretty much successful. So now we want to scale our existing strategy across all the 28 states and 8 union territories. Right now, our product is in 10,000 schools. In the next 3 to 4 years, we want at least 25,000 schools having our product. Maybe one or two subjects like maths or social or English or science or something like that.
Okay. And sir, I was looking about your financials. The EBITDA margin is continuously increasing, like from 6.97% to 13.97 and then 19.53. Now, recently it's gone more than like 20%, it's 28.48%. So what do you think? What would be the ideal margin? Is 28.48% sustainable going forward?
Actually, margins are going to be even more going forward. The reason why being, prior to new education policy was introduced by the central government, what happened was every state had its own curriculum. So we had to make separate textbooks for Telangana, separate textbooks for Tamil Nadu, separate textbook for Karnataka, since we are from the south. So इसमें क्या होता था, for every state, our R&D team used to create a product for that particular state, and we used to print in small quantities because of the sale of that particular state. इसमें our cost of production was always high. And cost of manufacturing the product was also high, because after new education policy क्या हुआ, Kashmir से Kanyakumari तक one curriculum is followed. So now we have spent on creating one uniform curriculum across the country. So our R&D cost also came down, because now we have to create one product, and we can print this one product in bulk quantity. Before we used to print one separate textbooks for separate state. Now when we are going for bulk production, cost of production also reduced. And 2020-21 May, we paid almost 150 rupees per kilo paper. Today I purchased at 70 rupees per kilo for with GST. So paper cost has come down almost 50% in the last 4 to 5 years. And going forward, how we are going to increase more margins is, government has also removed GST on educational materials like textbooks and notebooks. So our cost of raw material is also coming down there. Margins were going to grow high, and since now we are becoming a national player, we will be selling more and more quantity of our textbooks across the country. More quantities means more production, and that will affect our margins also.
Okay. And sir, if I look about like trade receivable payable days, so that's also like continuous increasing. It's moved from like 400 to then 356, 362, and now it's 535 days. Is it norm in this industry, and what would be the ideal trade receivable days going forward?
Usually, what happens is the working capital cycle of this industry is
Mm-hmm.
5 to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say if I have to sell for the coming academic year, that is the schools which start after June 15th, I have to manufacture and keep the product ready by September 30th. Because from October, November, December, I get orders from CBSE and ICSE schools, and from January to March, I get orders from state board schools. Even though they place orders early, they will start making the payment only after June 15th, once the schools are reopened. So
Mm-hmm.
usually why schools place early orders is because, let's say one school in Kolkata, he is placing an order of some textbooks from a company from Hyderabad from me, another company from Gujarat, or another company from Rajasthan or Mumbai. So they take a lot of time in procuring this material from different states, and making sets of all these material, and then selling to students once the reopen start in June or June 15th. So schools will start making their revenue from selling these textbooks from June to June 15th. From there, 60 to 90 days, they clear our payment. So even though bill arises early, bill accrues from only from June.
Okay.
But since the industry is like this, you'll face this problem not only in publishing as well as granules industry.
Okay.
Bill arising date is different and bill accrual date is different, and our sale is also dependent on the educational cycles.
Mm-hmm.
So if you compare that with financial cycles and educational cycles,
Mm-hmm.
automatically the number of days will look more. But this is a highly profitable industry, so we also don't really bother that about the number of days.
And sir, right now, like more and more schools are going about like digital learning days. Like students also read less on books, more on net. So, what would you envision future? Like the demand of textbook will decrease, or it will stay stabilized?
Yeah, so I want to answer this. This is a little longer answer. I hope you
Mm-hmm.
don't mind. So what happened is, in Corona COVID time, 2020, 21, and 22, schools were closed for 2 years. So rapid involvement of education technology has come into schools, where
Mm-hmm.
education technology companies have approached parents directly and started selling their product. So
Mm-hmm.
they kept school aside and did it. But post COVID, parents have realized that it is not easy to keep children at home and teach them, at least till the age of 13, till class 10th. So what they did, they kept aside all the technology, and they started sending the kids back to school. When you send a kid to school, it is not just textbook or an online learning. There are a lot of other things where children will learn. You make a friend, you make an enemy, fear of a teacher, sports, all together makes a child uh, better being. And textbook or education is just 25% of that holistic development
Mm-hmm.
of a child. So what happened when school reopened? The parents and teachers understood that they'll come back to school again, and they need a textbook to study. So this could be a threat. The technology could be a threat to industries like us. What we publishers did, we also rapidly invested on technology. We created our own tech platform called VStudy, where in the last 4 to 5 years I've invested more than 4 to 5 crores, and we created all the technology required, like from for every chapter being a video, and LMS system where teacher can take attendance, school can take attendance of the teachers, teachers can take attendance of the student, complete learning management system, and test generators, parents reports, every mock test after every chapter we post on student applications where we included a AI. If the student performance in that particular mock test is not good, it sends in reports to the teacher saying that yesterday whatever topics you taught, he has not, or major students have not understood. So maybe coming back today to class, you revise these topics. So we've also rapidly invested on technology, but we didn't want to make a revenue model out of technology. What we did is, the amount of money we spent on technology, when we divide that with the number of books we are selling in 4 to 5 million copies, it is hardly coming to 3 to 4 rupees per book. So what publishers did, we increased our MRPs by 10 to 12 rupees and started providing that as an ecosystem, as a technology free product. So going forward, no tech company can come to a school and try to sell only technology, because school themselves will tell that this is already available for free. I don't need it. And how it played a better advantage for us is, now let's say a school is using only my maths textbook. Once they start using my technology platform, they can't use different technology for different publishers with different subjects. So because I put my LMS system and latest all that software, not just my mathematics, even science, social, English started selling. So from existing, after introducing technology, existing schools, I'm getting more percentage of business.
Okay.
So that was the advantage.
That's nice, sir. And sir, I was looking about the company's litigation. So there were no litigations against company in this publishing industry. So what are the secret sauce to keep this company litigation free?
No, usually where litigation arises, one, it could be payments, other, it could
Okay.
be some copyrights or some issues.
Mm-hmm.
But here, in education sector, this is a credit business where you create your own product, you market your own product, and then you sell the product, and then you go for
Mm-hmm.
payment recovery, right? So why would any publisher, copy somebody else's book and get into a credit model? If
Mm-hmm.
something which can sell over table in next 24 hours, there will somebody will copy that product, like in a novels and higher
Mm-hmm.
education material. In 24 hours, they're selling in some retail store and closing. But in this industry, it is not possible. So when you're anyway investing so much money in raw material, credit program, and marketing the product, might as well create your own product.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody will get into that sort of problem. And about payments, when you talk about payments, if you notice all over India, 90% schools are run by women.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a great advantage. Why? Because they're always scared of
Mm-hmm.
making the payment. They want to be in a good relationship with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And we are in such an industry where, because my company has been more than 60 years in publishing and 100 years in the education field. Some of our clients who are 30 years, 40 years old customers, where, they must have seen me as a child. And today I'm being a vendor, they still treat me like their son in the schools. So
Great.
our payments are very good. So I don't see any reason why there should be any legal obligation.
Okay.
Small here and there troubles will come, but that are very ignorable.
Mm-hmm. Similar, sir, like I was looking about your brand name. One brand name is like Apple Book Company. So do you think any possibility with copyright issue with that brand?
No, no, no. Apple Book Company is different, and Apple, if you talk about cell phones, is different. And then some are generic names
Uh-huh.
where nobody can get a copyright. Even I can't get a copyright, even Apple can't get a copyright. So that wouldn't problem. And the reason why publishers like us have multiple brands, like, Sangam is our brand, Pelican is our brand, or Apple is brand. When you go to one school, what happens is usually that particular school prefer one publishing company for one subject. So in my case, the schools don't know that different products are from Dachepalli. So I end up getting more than 2 to 3 series inside a school. That was the only, it's a marketing strategy, nothing beyond that.
Excellent. Sir, डे टू डे ऑपरेशंस में आप क्या challenges face करता है? So if you talk about your day to day challenges.
सर ये पूरा सप्लाई चेन बेस्ड बिजनेस है, तो देयर इज timely delivery of the products, management of the staff, management of sales team, we get reports, and we hire new team everywhere. So general business challenges are there, but since we've been in in a lot of experience from my fathers or as we have, so most of the challenges we've attended in the past, we've created a robust strategic system where how we can mitigate these issues. And slowly what we did is, we started replicating our existing strategy in new states. So when we enter a new state also, whatever challenges are supposed to come, we've already faced the challenges in some other state. So we have solutions for those problems.
All right. And sir, how do you take competition, right? So there are some very well established players, listed players, and then there is new competition coming from generative AI. So everybody thinks that it's very easy to create content, could be text, video, image, and create their own curriculum using generative AI, right? So from the existing established player and technology, how do you consider uh, challenge, I mean, the competition, and how do you kind of differentiate yourself?
This industry is a very huge industry. Even though we are such an old player, our market share is less than 2%. So by this, you can imagine the kind of market and the kind of business is there in this industry. And about AI being a tool, we've also started introducing AI inside a technology platform. How much AI should be available for school children, especially because they are at a very younger age. So teachers, publishers like us, you take a proper call on how much interaction of AI should be there inside the classroom or how much the child should teach. And about AI, anybody can generate content, anybody can generate, yes, but everybody can't sell. That is a problem. Generation has become very easy today, but to sell, you also have to set up a complete publishing unit like us. You have to stock up all the products. So there's a lot of capital intensive, money intensive business. Then you have to promote this product and sell. Creating content, anybody can create today, but it's not important about creating content. Holding the market, building the trust in the schools on our product is very important. So this we've developed. We also developed over time. So it's not like one day anybody can replace anybody. There's a lot of thing happens. Some people, new players, don't even get entry inside the schools. Sometimes it takes
Right.
3 to 4 inside years to get an entry or to even get business from that schools. So to sustain all those problems also, because we have existing business from a lot of clients across the country, even though there's a delay in an entry in a new school, our existing business is supporting those particular challenges for us. So
Got
that's
it.
how it
Got it.
is.
Sir, where do you see the next phase of growth coming from? And what is the goal or vision you are having for next 3 to 5 years?
So we've also done some pilot projects in the last 2 3 years where we introduce an e-commerce vertical where our tech team creates a special link for the school. And from that link, parents can purchase all the education material from textbooks to notebooks to stationery. And then what happens is the box gets packed inside our warehouses and it gets home delivered. Usually, where without the technology, that particular e-commerce model, we had like a 20%, 30% adoption rate of our product inside a school. But once when we slowly introduce the technology, what happens is the adoption rate is also increasing, like more than 40 or 50% of our product getting adopted. So we did some pilot projects last year and we noticed a very good response. Going forward, we want to implicate this e-commerce model in across many schools. This year we are planning to introduce at least 50 schools, next year 100, 200 like that. That will be one vertical. But what we noticed is when we introduced the e-commerce model, we started getting revenues from other sources. Like we never were in notebooks or stationery. Now we are getting slowly revenue in that model also, even though their margins are not as big as textbook margins, but there is definitely margin there itself. And going forward, maybe we'll be introducing uniform. That is what I'll be the next pilot project. We want to understand the challenges in uniform business also, and let's see how many of our schools we can convert from our existing clients. We don't want to get into any new business. We want to see what are other products we can supply to the same school who's using our textbook or being a partner or a client for us in our existing model. This will be the vision.
Got it. Sir, before we wrap up, is there any message that you want to leave for the potential investors?
So what how we envision is in the south where we are present. Going forward, we want to see at least 5% market share in the south states where we are strong, and 2 to 3% market share in the states where we are new. The rest of the states in the north or the union territories, we see a huge potential, huge upside in this market, highly scalable, because we've been in the industry for so long, we've solved almost all the problems or issues which will come going forward when we formed a proper strategy, and now we started selling it. And one more advantage about our company is we did backward integration first. We bought in all the capex investment for printing and other things. And as far as there is a demand for printed textbook, we'll supply printed textbook. If the demand moves to ebook, we are ready to supply ebook even today. So, and in the next 3 to 4 years, our target is to achieve at least 25,000 schools in all the 28 states and 8 territories. So we see a good upside and we are very enthusiastic. We request, we want everybody to encourage us in that model.
All right. Thank you very much, Harish sir, for your time and sharing information about your company. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.